Well, ladies and gentlemen, shockingly and not so shockingly at the same time, apparently Stellarblade has now received its rating in Korea, and the rating is the worst rating that you can get in that country because the game apparently showcases nudity and violence and has received an 18+ rating for the game.
You can't keep getting away with it!
Now, this rating is going to affect the game pretty drastically, I would imagine, but let's be real, Grand Theft Auto also has a pretty terrible rating and is one of the most successful games of all time. I don't think having this rating is going to hurt this game necessarily, but I'm curious to find out more of the reasoning as to why that this game was rated the way that it was. Is the nudity that crazy? Is the violence that insane? Because if it is, I'm more hyped for this game than ever. So let's get into this article, guys, from good old IGN. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. And guys, listen, thank you so much, man. We blew past 30,000 subs. We're already on our way to almost 31,000, and we're on the way to 40K. I appreciate everyone's support. So it says upcoming PlayStation 5 exclusive Stellarblade appears to have an age rating in Korea, and it won't come as a surprise to anyone who's seen gameplay. Stellarblade is developed by Korean studio Shift Up and published by Sony Interactive Entertainment as a PS5 exclusive. It's an action game heavily inspired by the likes of Nier Automata, Bayonetta, and Psycho, Shadows Die Twice, and stars a badass anime-inspired female protagonist called Eve, who many are comparing to 2B and Bayonetta. It's interesting how IGN is calling this character a badass female protagonist, considering that usually they're against stuff like this, right? They're against what they call sexualization of characters, but I find that to be very interesting. In an interview with Games Radar, Stellarblade director Hwang Tae Kim said Shift Up had put special attention to Eve's back because that's what players see for the vast majority of their time in game. Now, I made a video on that. You guys already know this is there's a lot of ass going on, okay? The ass is what made all the controversy on Twitter. The ass is what made everybody cheer about it, right? If you guys remember the meme clip, editor, you could throw in the meme clip again of the cheer on the ass. But yes, the ass is what's making people go absolutely insane for good and bad reasons. With that in mind, Stellarblade's adult-only age rating in Korea makes a lot of sense. Korean website This Is Game reported Eve appears to be naked while wearing certain costumes, and the violence involves mutilation with plenty of blood. Man, I'm actually excited for this game now. Like, I was already excited as it is because, listen, I love the fact that people are just completely melting down about this game. A lot of woke women are melting down about this game. I'm going to do another video about this game because apparently a YouTuber made this entire the interview thing about this game in New York City, and it's every single really just ridiculous person you could imagine that he spoke to, and is very clearly a biased video, but we're gonna have fun breaking it down. But still, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm actually very excited about this game. I love games like this. I love Nier Automata, I love Bayonetta, I love games like this, and I'm happy to see that we have developers that are willing to say, screw it, we're gonna give you an adult game. We're gonna give you an actual entertaining game. We're going to give you something that you can break away from reality, step into fantasy a little bit, and enjoy yourself. And that's what it's supposed to be about, man. That's what gaming is supposed to be about. And we're losing that because we have these idiots that are in charge of our AAA games here in the West that don't know how to put a good game together because they're too busy shilling for diversity, equity, and inclusion and completely ruining their franchises. It says, while PEGI and ESRB are yet to publish their Stellarblade ratings, it seems likely the game will be rated along similar lines in the West ahead of its launch on April 26. Stellarblade was first announced back in 2019, then known under the codename Project Eve, and was initially announced for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. The game would then appear 2 years later as a September 2021 State of Play presentation, where it was presented as a PS5 exclusive. Roughly a year later, Shift Up revealed the game's official title and a 2023 release window. So again, guys, really quick story, not too shocked. I'm worried, but not worried at the same time. Like, I know that having the adult rating on this game is not necessarily going to do anything super negative about it. It might close some access to some people, but ultimately, if they're younger kids that really shouldn't be playing this game in the first place, then that's really not that big of a deal. But again, Grand Theft Auto has the worst rating you could possibly get. It is known for being a game that's just insane. Obviously, you can hit civilians, you can run them over cars, everything you can can possibly think of doing, you can do in Grand Theft Auto. And that game is one of the highest selling games of all time. So the rating really doesn't hurt it too bad in terms of sales. If people want to get their hands on Stellarblade, they're going to get their hands on Stellarblade one way or another, and a rating is not going to stop anybody from getting it. But I do think that the story around this particular game is going to push it out more than it probably would have if it would have just came out and had no controversy whatsoever. We talked about that in my last video. The controversy now is what's selling these games or breaking these games, right? Hogwarts Legacy was a top-selling game of 2023. That game was shunned by every single award show. That game was attacked by every single trans activist on Twitter. And now you're showcasing another example of what happens when you have these controversy, when you have people trying to cancel the game, when you have people openly attacking the developer of the game, or in this case, the director, and they're openly attacking him, and it's having no effect. It's actually having the opposite effect. So it makes you wonder if all of this controversy is made purposefully so that the game sells even better than it would have, because this controversy is going to make the game sell. I promise you, the game was already going to sell as it is because people love games like this. People love action games. People love games that are actually fun to look at, fun to enjoy, fun gameplay. You know, people love this stuff. And now you're throwing in an extra FU to a community that people can't stand. Of course this game's going to sell. Nobody likes these woke idiots on Twitter. Nobody likes these woke developers in the West. Nobody likes all these publishers that come out during Black History Month and say the most retarded things because they don't want to say it throughout the rest of the year because they wait specifically for that 1 month to maximize their virtue signaling points. Nobody likes this stuff. The ones that do are the ones that they're actively advocating for and shilling for. And that's like a 1% of the population. It really just, it doesn't make any sense. But again, ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited for Stellarblade. I know a lot of you are excited for Stellarblade. I saw your comments. I read them all the time. And I see that people are going to straight up just buy it day one. Or some of you have even pre-ordered it. Now, me personally, I'm not going to pre-order it because I really don't pre-order games like that. Even Final Fantasy, I don't pre-order. And you guys know how much I shill for that. I'm not going to pre-order it, but I will probably buy it a day or two after it releases, so long as the initial reviews are spot on from certain people that I trust to give me, you know, a pretty unbiased review. So I'm really excited. I'm glad that this game is doing as well as it is doing, and I don't think that this rating is going to hurt us very much. I think the success of the game is going to be very blatant, very obvious, and you know what? It deserves it. Let's start bringing beautiful women back to gaming again. Let's start bringing action and true entertainment and good storytelling back to gaming again. Nobody wants to deal with the garbage that we've been seeing time and time again in our games, in our movies, in our TV shows, our entertainment. Nobody wants to see it. This is why we make these videos. This is why we openly talk about it. This is why I like to encourage all you guys to speak in the comments, because I want everybody to get their opinions out. I want to see what the general discourse is on games like this. I saw what happened with Hogwarts Legacy. We were there. We streamed it. We had a great time. It was great. Adventures of a Bigot. I loved it. I wish I could do stuff like that more often. Unfortunately, I don't have the time, but still, I wish I could do stuff like that more often. And this game is just another game that I would love to stream. I would love to showcase. I would love to bring to you guys, because I think that this is going to be a major milestone in gaming where people are going to say, we're done. We're over it. We're going to go back to making games that are meant to be fun. We're going to go back to making games that are meant to be entertaining and to bring you out of reality instead of telling you about modern day every chance that we get. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.
He can't keep getting away with it!